All right. I think you got this in most of your sessions with sheets or slides or sites. You can't do it with sites. But if you, right now, go back to the document that I gave you, and you go File, one thing in Google is all about sharing. So you can set the preferences to restrict people on what they can copy or what they can't copy, but the mindset from Google is sharing and collaboration. So here, one of the most important things for you to notice is if someone shares a document with you, you'll be like, I want to make a copy of this because there's some good stuff in there. So what I shared with you, you already have, but if you want to make it yours and then continue using it, make a copy. So here you just go File, make a copy. So as soon as you go make a copy, it's going to ask you where do you want to save it in your Google Drive folder. Okay. So making a copy is important.
Yes.
If you're allowed to make a copy. I can honestly tell you, I've gone to many seminars in the US and here in Kuwait where I sit in a presentation and someone opens a Google slide and I'm like, this is awesome. Make a copy because I want to use it later on, or I'm going to take some of their material and ask them, that was great, do you mind if I use some of your material? Yeah, go ahead, and away we go. So making a copy is really powerful, especially for your students. Also know that they're going to cheat. They're going to copy someone else's, they're going to share it, and they could cheat, but knowing how to make a copy is important, okay? And again, you can do that in Google Slides, you can do that in Google Sheets, in Google Keep, you can do it in all of them, okay? Do I need to talk about formatting margins and tabs? Your time is precious, so let's continue on. Copy and pasting I don't need to talk about, nor do I need to manipulate. The most important part for Google Docs, for you as teachers, if you have the ability to do this, I know in the government schools, I just had a conversation with Mr. Muhammad, he said, our internet's really slow. Our server within the ministry, we have slow access, so our internet is slow. If you're in a private school and your internet's fast, I have the luxury of teaching at a school where our internet is ridiculously fast. But Google Docs, no matter where you are in the world, same as Office 365, if you're using Word 365, you have the online collaborative ability that's in real time, which means right now, for all of you, I can see who's connected to this document. Now, I've set the properties for you as view only, but if I press the share button, and as you've been learning the share button today through all of your different applications, if I change the sharing settings right now, and I click more right here, and I go can edit or comment, I'm going to put comment and click save, and then go done. I'm going to ask each of you now to comment. And this is where Google Documents becomes the most powerful tool. If you have a student who, I teach middle school, high school technology, and although I'm not writing essays, you're doing essays in English. I'm not sure what you guys are teaching, but if you're in an English department, students always have that problem of, did you proofread it? Yep. No, you didn't. There's spelling mistakes everywhere. Did you get your friend to proofread it? Yep. Okay, how do you have so many spelling mistakes or grammatical errors if someone proofread it? And the power in learning by collaboration is if you share it with someone and you force another student to go and peer review it, that student has to learn, they have to check, and then they also have to prove evidence that they've actually done so. So not only are you asking the student, have you proofread it? Yes. Did you proofread somebody else's and edit? Well, then it forces them to show a different level of learning. It engages that mastery level learning. And that's what we want. If we ask them to proofread it, they're going to say yes. If I say, here, proofread this, okay, you've read a couple things and you give it back. but you as a teacher want to see that evidence. So with Google, whenever you see something, you always have the ability to comment. So I've given you comment access right now. So if all of you, if you're accessing this file right now, just select someplace. So right now, you can see that I have anonymous unicorn, and it's all giving you generic names. But if you all put your cursor someplace and click someplace on the screen, all of you will show up in my document. And if you select something, as you see I've selected teacher over here, I get this plus button, which says add a comment. So I'm gonna click add a comment, and it shows up less possibly. And as a student, I write, please check spelling. Or as a teacher, you comment and provide feedback saying, I love this idea, keep going with it, or great thought process, go a little further. And now I'm gonna post it, so it stays over here.
Okay, but this depends on my mode because I have view only mode. It's view only mode. I have to edit.
Can you refresh your browser?
Yeah, okay. Refresh.
If you refresh, you should now you're in comment mode.
Yes.
That's all. Because I had you originally as view,
yes,
but your browser was still. So, can you guys please just select someplace on this document and select a piece. Again, to do this, select anywhere, it doesn't matter. Just select anywhere, and as soon as you select something, you're gonna get this plus button that shows up. So, have to refresh.
Yeah, that one. Just for visa.
You refresh.
We have to refresh the browser. Now it's changed to. Okay, so if we can get those that are on there, again, select something, and you can type anything. Type hello, hi, anything that you want. Wonderful.
We wrote all.
So now for me as the teacher or the student.
Again, how can I open this?
Sorry?
This again, not this, here.
With
a short URL.
Oh.
Please. Here.
This, I apologize. This screen is a little wonky in its settings. Oops. Short URL at you have to put a capital.
All capital?
No, you have it. It's just if there's a capital letter.
Okay.
And because the URL is so long, I use the shortener. So the capital D or capital FH.
No.
Now it's gonna, there you go. Yes, perfect.
Thanks.
Okay, so now as you can see all right here, you guys have provided comments. So as students, you may have responded and said, please fix this, or this is wrong, or I like your idea, or let's continue with this again. In classes, we assign group projects. And this is one way that we can have a group project where you have what Google refers to as synchronous learning. In your Google, if you decide to do your Google test, Google will ask you one question for sure. Is it synchronous learning or is it asynchronous learning? Synchronous learning means it's happening simultaneously at the same time. Whether it be a Google Hangout or you're using YouTube Live, as some of you may be doing right now, it means that students are collaborating all at the same time. The asynchronous learning is the lesson, the Google slide that I've provided with you, that you still can engage at a time later on. So during the test, if you do the Google exam, one of the questions that may pop up